Arsenal interested in Ansu Fati. That's one of the biggest stories that we're going to start up our day with. I've come in late, but I promise you we are going to cover everything in its variety. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're really watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. But they are battling for Ansu Fati with another club. And we go straight up to the new signing that is coming in at Liverpool, undergoing his medical. And lastly, there is a former player that used to play in London for Chelsea, that is Marco Alonso, and he's one of those that is going to be sold by Barcelona. So let's see, close to 400 likes smash on this video. Don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Let's start off with Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati has been linked to Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal, and Adrian Sanchez has gone ahead and confirmed to us that Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal are monitoring Ansu Fati's situation at Barcelona. So Arsenal are monitoring Ansu Fati's situation at Barcelona. Ansu Fati is one of those players whose future is not yet known and where he's going to be playing for his next 4 or 5 years. At Barcelona, they're having financial problems. You all know that Barcelona are really wanting to move on players to get in more money, to see to it that they obviously go ahead and obviously reinforce some positions that really lack, like the right back. They need central midfielders, they need a center forward, and they also want to register the newly signed player from Brazil known as Victor Roque that obviously I'm here to send to them. But for Arsenal, monitoring Ansu Fati, that doesn't mean that Arsenal is going to go in for Ansu Fati. That is it. Monitoring and interest are really something different. So first and foremost, you have to first pick interest in the player. Then after picking interest, then I think it's monitoring that comes first. But it's the domino effect. You can pick interest in the player and start monitoring him, and you can monitor the player and then pick interest in the player. But for Ansu Fati, at his age, I see him as a player that still has a lot of future. I remember him in 2018, 2019 when he came in through and obviously had the best of the season at Barcelona under Lionel Messi, and the reason why they gave him shirt number 10 was because they saw him as the next big star, all-star boy at Barcelona. No one saw Pedri coming in through, no one saw Gavi coming in through, or they've gone ahead to surpass Ansu Fati. But Ansu Fati was so much derailed by injuries, and Arsenal is monitoring the player. Now, let's talk about Arsenal monitoring Ansu Fati. It's one of those things that you'll understand why Arsenal are really doing this, because Arteta wants talent at his team, and he wants young players to be engulfed into that Arsenal system, because young talent is easily improved, and obviously they're still having that hunger to win again and again and again. But the big question is, where is he going to play? On the left attacking side of the midfield, where Ansu Fati is going to thrive in Barcelona for his entire career, there is Martinelli, there is Trossard, Emile Smith-Rowe, there is Reece Nelson, right? So close to 4 players playing to that side. But I can tell you that Ansu Fati, if at all he gains enough playing time at Arsenal, he can displace all those players. I know people will say, Rokani, you are lying. Ansu Fati cannot displace Martinelli. Guys, Ansu Fati is something different. You know, at that age of just, I think it's 2021. Let me check Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati is 20. That is it. And when you look at his stats, they are really amazing. Last season, he played all the 36 games of Barcelona. 36 games out of 38 league games. Scored 7 goals and put in 3 assists. But remember, he almost played most of those games coming off the bench. That is Ansu Fati for you. So I really anticipate that he'll obviously get better and better, and nothing is going to stop the player. And I think Mikel Arteta sees a lot in this player, and he believes that he can obviously turn him into the player that he was. But the big question is, how is Arsenal going to do this? if Arsenal is to get in Ansu Fati to bolster up their attacking options, they have to obviously sell Balogun, right? They have to let players like Cedric Soares leave, Kien Tierney, there is Sambi Albert Lokonga, and Rob Holding. They have to let all those players go, Nicola Pepe, such that they reduce the wage bill of Arsenal and then create more space for them to get in a player like Ansu Fati. I don't rule this out because I know it can happen. It can happen. And trust me, Ansu Fati is really a generational talent. And he can obviously get back to where he is. Xavi has obviously shown him that he's not part of his plans, though they've not yet gotten in a very good person to get them the amount of money they want. They called in for 60-70 million euros for this player, but I anticipate that they can, I think that is 60-70 million pounds. Can Arsenal raise that? That's the big question. I have one of my usual subscribers on this channel. Each and every time I talk about money, he always tells me that, Rokani, Arsenal can spend money. You know, Arsenal can spend 300 million pounds this season, but the problem is simple. They've not yet made enough sales. Arsenal need to sell Balogun. That's why they're calling in for 50 million pounds from Balogun. That's why they want to sell Kien for like 35 million pounds. That will be 85. They want to sell Rob Holding for like 5. That is 90. Cedric Soares for 5. That is like 95. So if Arsenal can gather close to more 100 million pounds, they can obviously spend more money because they would have gone ahead to create some wage gap bill, and they would have gone ahead to get in 100 million pounds to spend, meaning that they can spend close to 130 million pounds, because those players, when you look at their salaries and you compare them very well, like for Nicola Pepe, he earns 140,000 pounds a week. If you are to put it in a calculator, 140, right, times 52 weeks, he earns 7.3 million pounds. That is only Nicola Pepe. So that means when you add all the players, are going to have to dislodge from Arsenal the Xhakas of this world. That means Arsenal can hit space for that. But the big question is Spurs. Spurs are really looking hungry. They're having money with them because they've just gotten close to 120 million euros. That is 100 million pounds from Bayern Munich for the sale of Harry Kane, meaning that they can obviously get off close to 50, 60, 70 and get in Ansu Fati at the club. Something that can work for them well because Ansu Fati can come in through and obviously it also eat out with Son Heung-min, the captain, because Son Heung-min is really on his decline and they need to get in one of the biggest stars. And I think if we get Ansu Fati, he's a player who has a very good resale value. I understand, as you saw it at Arsenal when Cesc Fabregas came in at Arsenal as a La Masia reject, and then after, when he picked up and played very well and became world class, Barcelona bought him again, and Barcelona paid close to 50 million pounds, I think, for Cesc Fabregas, meaning that even if Arsenal gets Ansu Fati for like 50 million pounds, they can obviously sell that player back in the next 3-4 years back to Barcelona at 100 million pounds, making making more profits like the amount of money they bought him, because Barcelona 4 years from now, I anticipate they would have gone ahead to overcome their financial constrictions. That is it. So I think it's a very good business for Arsenal and Spurs. But who wins the rest? Let's wait and see, because the transfer window is now left with just 2 weeks to really come to its end. That is Ansu Fati connected to Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. Now, we go on to Fabrizio Romano talking about the new central midfielder of Liverpool. Wataru Endō, currently undergoing first part of his medical test as new Liverpool player after surpassing move revealed yesterday night. Endo traveled to Merseyside on Thursday night with his camp after Stuttgart green light to complete the move. Now, this player, he's really good. Though he's 30, but he's a very good CDM. He does exactly what Jurgen Klopp will always want. He has the intensity, he has the press resistance, and he can obviously shield the back four very, very well. But they don't only need one player, they need another one, because what if he gets injured? How are they going to go on with it? And they've gone ahead to get him on a cheap, £16 million. That means out of the £110 million they bid for Caicedo, that Caicedo said is not going to come to Liverpool, they're having a balance of £96 million. So they're still looking in for quality midfielders, and I think they've gone ahead to get him in as a backup. Though for the meantime, as they look in for their top priority midfielder signing and target, he'll be really doing the job. And I see him doing the job well for the side of Arsenal, and I anticipate that he's going to for the side of Liverpool, and it's going to do the needful for this club. Remember, Liverpool looked so light in the midfield when they are playing Chelsea, yet Chelsea are not yet reinstated the talent of Moise Caicedo and Lavia, meaning that if they played Chelsea with Lavia and Caicedo in that midfield plus Enzo Fernandez, they would have gone ahead to get totally torn apart. So for Jurgen Klopp, after seeing all that, he knows that they are playing Bournemouth over the weekend, that is Saturday, and he doesn't want to obviously see his team getting annihilated in the midfield. So he wants to see this player registered by tomorrow midday, that is UK time. After that, then he can be played as a player of Liverpool when they're hosting the side of Bournemouth at the Anfield Stadium. So that's the plan of Jurgen Klopp, and we hope the player passes his medical. If at all he passes his medical, then the rest will be up to Jurgen Klopp, either to start him or not on Saturday. Lastly, let's talk about Marco Alonso. Marco Alonso is one of those players that graced the Premier League and showed how good he is as the left back. He was good at taking set pieces, free kicks, and obviously in the final third. But he was a little bit suspect defensively, but it looks like Barcelona signed him from Chelsea last summer. He has not gone ahead to pay off the best results, and Barcelona will be happy to sell Marcos Alonso this summer. The club was disappointed in his performance during the pre-season. So that is Athletic, one of the Red Bull sources, meaning that Barcelona are planning to offload this player, and dislodging him just shows you that they want to obviously get space to register more players, because Barcelona are having problems registering players, and I saw that they are fidgeting to register Ilkay Gundogan, because if at all Ilkay Gundogan never played the game on Sunday, they would have gone ahead to obviously not get him in. So they would have gone ahead to lose him, because the clause was stating that if he doesn't play the first game or get registered before the first game, then he was going to be given a chance to leave, and Barcelona had to compensate the player. So that is it. Marcos Alonso is a good left back, and I think he's going to get some more attractions either in the Premier League, or he's going to go to Saudi Arabia to see to it that they obviously get their career revived. So guys, your thoughts on Arsenal monitoring Ansu Fati are welcome in the comment section below, but they are on with Spurs, and you do like Ansu Fati at Arsenal. All that and more into the comment section below. What do you make about the new CDM that Liverpool is yet to sign, that is Wataru Endo, undergoing his medical, and Marcos Alonso being considered for sale by Barcelona because of his poor performances in the preseason? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, my lovely mates.